we are arranging this workshop of 15 programs. The first program of this is handled by our beloved General Secretary, Comrade S.C Jain, regarding our pension issues as well as our agitations for achieving pension by the bank retirees. After that program, our President as well as organizing secretary has agreed to discuss elaborately regarding the agitations conducted by bank retirees for achieving our low cherished pension as well as family pension and other retirement benefits. Another program we organized is related to health insurance as well as the benefits by medical insurance. This program is handled by none other than our help desk in charge, Comrade P. Kumar Menon. We hope that by that program, all our members will get the details of why we have selected this health insurance program for our retiree comrades. Afterwards, we have organized selected a number of programs like senior citizens issues, then health programs, cyber issues, and also for banking fraud, etc., which are to be handled by experts from outside banking scenario. We hope that after completing this workshop, our members will be more active and more energetic to face the problems of this of our community. So we are arranging this program for the cream of the retiree organizations of this state, especially members. We have selected members, second line members from the bank-wise organizations as well as the district committee. After complete this each program is organized in such a way that 1 hour the subject will be presented. Afterwards, there will be a question and answer session, and again there will be a feedback of this program. So we hope that by this collection of this program, all our participants, especially the 63 leadership comrades, will guide the banking retirees movement in our country in such a way that we will prove that we are the first in our country. So I hope by this we can have a little idea about what we are planning with this program, and I would like to express our sincere gratitude to Comrade K. Srinivasan, our General Secretary, our mentor, because he has organized this program and this is his brainchild. Dear comrades, let me come to my comrades. I would like to extend a warm welcome to the inaugurator and General Secretary of All India Bank Retirees Federation, Comrade S.C Jain, to this august body. Thank you, comrades. In this program, we have already invited our core committee members as well as the office bearers of All India Bank Retirees Federation, and they have kindly consented to attend this program as well as enrich our program through discussions. So I extend a warm welcome, a hearty welcome to all the comrades of the core committee as well as the office bearers of All India Bank Retirees Federation to this workshop. Moreover, we have already invited Comrade K.S. Krishna, Joint Secretary of AIBA, Comrade B. Ramprakash, General Secretary of All Kerala Bank Employees Federation, as well as Comrade C.D. Joseph, the convener of UFBO of the State Committee. I extend a hearty welcome to all these three comrades to our program. Dear comrades, the main agenda of this program or main aim of this program is to cultivate a new culture among our leadership comrades to guide the movement in our country. So I extend our sincere welcome and hearty welcome to all the 63 participants of this workshop. Moreover, this program is organized by the coordinators as well as the Library Council, and we have been guided by the Advisory Committee of All Kerala Bank Retailers Federation, the organizing committee of this program. I extend a warm welcome to all the working committee members, all the Library Council members, all the coordinators, and also I express my sincere gratitude for enabling us to conduct this program by giving very wise advice by our advisors and the great leaders. Thank you, comrades, and once again, I welcome all you to this great moment. Thank you all.
Admin here. What I would like to actually the next is inauguration of workshop program by Shri S.C Jain, General Secretary AIBRF. But I would like to know whether K. Srinivasan, General Secretary AKBRF, introduction of the leader. Are you going to do it now or are you going to do it later? Yeah, Srinivasan sir, mute ana.
Sir, ensure all mic are muted.
After
please.
introduction class, we will go to the inauguration. After the introduction. Okay.
Okay. That will be
because it is essential.
That is better. That is better.
Comrades, as per our program, the introduction of leader S.C Jain was included in the program of class, but we are shifting it to the inaugural meeting because so many office bearers of AKBRF also have participated. So before introducing Comrade S.C Jain, I would like to introduce the other office bearers participating in this meeting, and then I will come to Comrade S.C Jain. In this meeting, I am reading the name not on the positions they hold, but as per I jotted down. Dr. Jog is the organizing secretary of All India Bank Retirees Federation. He is attending.
Thank you, sir.
I welcome him. S.V. Srinivasan. He is the Deputy General Secretary of All India Bank Retirees Federation. And V.K.M. Verma is here. He is our own man and he is organizing secretary. Then A.K. Bensal is here. Bensal is the Deputy General Secretary of AIBRF. Ashok Patil is here. He is the General Secretary. He is the Deputy General Secretary of AIBRF. Comrade Mandal is here. He is the Vice President of AIBRF. Rai Tata, Comrade Rai Tata is here. He is the Organizing Secretary of AIBRF. And our John Joseph is also here. He is the Organizing Secretary. Altogether, including Jain and myself, 11 office bearers are participating now. 2-3 office bearers have also informed me that they will be participating. I hope that they will join later. Our president yesterday told me that he will also join, but he could not join because due to some other engagements. So now I shall introduce Comrade Jain. I don't think that Comrade Jain needs any introduction.
I think you have left the name of Vishnath Naik.
Who is that?
Vishnath Naik.
I think, sir, you have left out Vishnath.
Sorry,
No, that's okay. No problem. No problem.
On the list, I skipped it. Vishnath Naik is the Deputy General Secretary of AIBRF. He is from Bangalore. And one more thing I would like to tell you that Vishnath Naik conducted 2 general meetings in Bangalore. In one of the meeting, I also participated. And in another meeting, Comrade Kumar Menon participated. I participated because Jain could not attend that meeting, so I was invited. Kumar Menon went there to give a lecture on health insurance. And he is participating in our several programs also. He was there in our building inauguration program also. I welcome him also.
Thank
Sorry,
you. Thank you.
left out for this. So S.C Jain needs no introduction, I think, but still, I shall tell something which you may not be knowing. Everything you know about him on his organizational front. I shall. He is our beloved General Secretary. So he need no introduction. But something I will tell you. He born on 1/3/1945, 1945, and he joined the Bank of India in 1965 as a clerk. He is a BCom graduate with CAIIB. He retired as General Manager HR from Bank of India, Mumbai. That is his career details. He worked in several committees appointed by Reserve Bank of India and IBA on HR and credit matters. So he got vast experience in these two fields, and especially HR. That is more important for we people. He worked. He is an authority in HR matters. That is why RBI and IBA utilized his services in HR matters. Then, in 2004, the very next year of his retirement, he became the General Secretary of Bank of India Seva Nivart Sangh of MP and Chhattisgarh unit. That is the state unit of Federation of Bank of India Retirees Associations. That means immediately after retirement, he jumped into the activities of retirees. And in 2006, that is within 3 years of retirement, he became the General Secretary of Federation of Bank of India Retirees Association and continues till now. And the other position also, he continues even now. Then in 2008, that is 5 years after retirement, he became the General Secretary of AIBR. Within 5 years of retirement, he became the General Secretary of All India Bank Retirees Federation. Means his passion and his willingness, his ability, and the acceptance he received from the members. That's wonderful. So that matter we were not aware, but it is very, very important. Then from this we understand his passion for rendering service to the needy. From our experience, we know that he is a very knowledgeable person, a fighter, a leader who leads AIBRF to the present heights. His circulars carry several informations, and if filed, one can use it as a reference book. Knowledge is power. One can acquire it through experience and from books. We are lucky to have S.C Jain with us to inaugurate this knowledge acquiring workshop program. Our program is for knowledge acquiring. And as rightly said by our Coordinator-in-Chief, Comrade Shashidhara Panikkar, during welcome speech, we are trying to educate our leaders and middle-level leaders and workers. Here, 63 participants are attending this program, and they are supposed to attend 15 programs, and they are representatives from bank-wise unions and district committees elected by the respective units. That means they are leaders of the respective group. And if they take serious effort and attend the meeting as we propose, their knowledge will be increased, their doubts will be cleared, and they will be trained to present the matters which they know, because in this meeting interaction system is there. Through interaction they will learn how to express their doubts, how to express their points. So we are giving them training to explain and to receive the knowledge, explain to the next generation. So I hope that this class will help them, and we are happy that the inauguration and the first class is being taken by our General Secretary himself, who is a very knowledgeable person. Once again, I welcome him and request him to inaugurate the program and begin the classes. And before that, I welcome the AIBRF officers once again, and I also, on my personal behalf, welcome all the participants and including guests and our committee members. I think that AIBA office bearers, Krishna is in one meeting. I don't know what happened to Ram Prakash and Josen. They will also, because today is a agitation program of Catholic Syrian Bank is going on. They may be busy in that. We hope that they will attend at any time. So with this, I request Comrade Jain to inaugurate this session and start his class.
Thank you. President of AKBRF, Comrade P.S. Balan, General Secretary and very senior leader of bank retiree movement and chairman of AIBRF, Comrade K. Srinivasan, the coordinator of this workshop, Comrade Panikar, the office bearers and participants from AKBRF, and my colleagues on the office bearer team of AIBRF. I am very happy to see that the office bearers of AIBRF have responded in a very good number in the program organized by a state committee, and it indicates that entire AIBRF is strongly supporting, is behind this unique concept developed by AKBRF. Today is a very important day. Even if I call it as a historical day, it will not be inappropriate that one state committee of AIBRF decided to hold the workshop to train the second line of leadership in the state. AKBRF is known for introducing new ideas, new trend in the retiree movement. If you see the history of AKBRF, it was formed, it was established immediately after introduction of pension scheme in the banking industry and earlier to the formation of AIBRF at the apex level. So their birth came even before the birth of the apex body. So, and we find that since then, since its inception, they have been introducing a very new ideas, new trends, and then give them a very strong organizational framework. And they strongly believe in the organizational discipline, and they work on it, and their functioning is throughout the year. One after another, they keep on doing some activity for the retiree. We know that first time in the state committee, of course, AKBRF is the first state committee of AIBRF. And after some time, they introduced the concept of a district committee. District committee is a brainchild of AKBRF. And I think all the states now, all the districts are covered, and all districts of Kerala, they are having a state committee. And how much it has helped in the functioning of AKBRF and in raising the issues of the retirees at the state level, at the All India level, they have played a very, very crucial role. And thereafter, it did not stop here only, but then it was further extended. And now the AKBRF has also a town committee concept. Even in towns, there are activists who are working and who are promoting the cause of the retirees. So AKBRF has always been an innovator, introducing the new trend, and they developed the whole idea of conducting workshop on the various aspects of retiree issue. And now today is a beginning. Today it is a very, very historical day, and the world in which we are living today, there the professionalism is assuming a very, very great importance, because unless you are well informed, you are well trained, you have all the required material, you have a logic to argue, you will be very, very effective. A decade or two back, or about 30-40 years back, the role which was contributing to any movement was a militancy. Militancy was a very, very crucial ingredient for any movement. We have seen it in the banking industry when the entire environment was manual, the things were being done, the unions were operating through a power of militancy. Means if you are united, you have a very strong voice, you have a muscle power, you will be able to dictate the terms, and that used to work. But now the world has undergone a total change. Now the militancy alone will not work. And we have seen the functioning of the trade unions which are operating in the banking industry. They are also changing themselves. We have seen the functioning of AIBA 40-50 years back, and today if you see their style of functioning, it is altogether different. They cover, they hold the discussion, they hold the seminars, they hold the conferences on various aspects, collection of material, analyzing them, and then putting before them. They express their views on various aspects. They may be political, they may be economical, they may be social, and they become. And this is how they are trying to strengthen the whole trade union movement in the banking industry. And picking up from there, it is very nice, very good initiative by the leaders of AKBRF that they have conceived the whole idea of this workshop, and they have developed certain topics, and they will be discussed in the next, I think, 10-12 sessions. And they have invited the various speakers on that. But I'm told that this being the first venture, all faculty members will be in-house only, means the office bearers from AKBRF, office bearers, and other activists of the retiree movement. They will be covering the various topics. But this is only a beginning, according to me. AKBRF will also pick up from the experience of this workshop and will try to emulate, try to further develop and take it at the apex level, because this is a requirement. And if you want to make your activists, your leaders very effective, then this sort of training program, this sort of workshop, they are very, very necessary. And if required in the coming days, we may also invite some professionals, some experts from the outside for such workshop. And this workshop is going to be conducted through video conferencing, because it is a requirement of the time. COVID is going on, but in the coming days, we can also think of having a physical workshop where we can invite, we can hold, and we can conduct such workshops. And I think our AIBRF office bearers are present to represent the various states. They will also pick up the idea, and they will also consider organizing this sort of workshop. If it may not be 10-15 sessions, but some crash program also can be considered, and they can be organized. It is a really very innovative idea. It's a very good idea, and it will definitely help the participants from AKBRF to develop their skills, sharpen their skill, and which will definitely help in handling the issues of retiree when they go to the authorities at various levels, maybe a branch manager, maybe a zonal manager, maybe a general manager in bank, or at a IBA, or even at a higher stage. If you put your views supported by certain logic, supported by certain rules and regulation, they help more. They help a lot. Even we are given a sort of attention, we are listened, and they receive the attention of the authorities. And if I go and I talk, I only talk, I operate at the emotional level, expressing my views, then possibly they may give a very counter effect. They may become a counterproductive. So therefore, it is very necessary that we should be equipped with a very professional knowledge. We are in the era of the information technology. The information is a knowledge, and knowledge is a power. So it is a step towards that. It is a process. It is a very good beginning. I want to compliment the all leaders of AKBRF, in particular our chairman of AIBRF, who happened to be general secretary of AKBRF, for conceiving this idea and now implementing today. So our all compliments, congratulations on behalf of AIBRF, on behalf of all my colleagues in the office bearer team of AIBRF. I compliment, I congratulate the entire leadership of AKBRF for developing this idea and then now implementing. It will prove to be a historical day, and it will set a trend, example before other state units, and it will become a role model for all of us. And many times, one thing more which remind me on this occasion is that many times it is expressed in the different quarters, whether IBA or even by in the finance ministry or even by the unions, that retirees are little irresponsible. They always operate on an emotional basis, so we have to this image we have to change it through our acquiring more and more knowledge about the subjects, and more and more professional approach we will have to develop. And this workshop will definitely help. My compliments, my congratulations to the leadership of AKBRF. And as I inaugurate, I declare this workshop inaugurated, and I hope that they will be very useful, very interactive, very informative, the sharing of information sessions in the coming days, and it will become really very effective, very useful program. And I have been told that just now our whatever sessions are held, they are going to be recorded, and then they will be documented also. And AKBRF is planning to bring some total a booklet on it, so that will become a good record, a good information document for all of us, which will be very useful for all of us. So thank you very much for inviting me and giving me this opportunity to become a part of this historical function, historical event. Thank you. I wish all the best, all success for this workshop. Thank you very much.
Okay.
So, can I start that?
Okay, earlier we have on our agenda, the vote of thanks is by Shri Manikuttan for the inaugural session was planned. If it is, I think after that, Jain sir will get time to drink some water also. The workshop session can start thereafter, if that is okay with you. Otherwise, carry on. I think as per program, Manikuttan sir of Bank of Baroda, he's the leader. You are invited to give the vote of thanks.
Mitra Vasu join ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു. Whether
Manikuttan sir is mute. Manikuttan sir is mute. Manikuttan.
Okay. Chairman of the meeting.
Mitra Vasu join ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടോ?
Yes, I noted it. I noted.
Okay. I am not sure right now. Yes, he has joined. Sorry.
Yes.
Mitra Vasu.
I noted.
Mitra Vasu is the Deputy General Secretary of AKBRF.
He has joined.
Chairman of the meeting and President of AKBRF, Comrade P.S. Balan, Benevolent General Secretary of AKBRF, Comrade S.C Jain, Comrade K. Srinivasan, Chairman of AKBRF and General Secretary of AKBRF. The entire team of 46 office bearers whom we have invited for this meeting, representing AKBRF along the length and breadth of the subcontinent, up to which some 12 people comrades are participating in the meeting. Comrade C.D. Johnson, the convener of UFBU Kerala State Committee, Comrade K.S. Krishna, Joint Secretary of the AIB and President of AKBEF, and Comrade B. Ram Prakash, General Secretary of AKBEF, who are expected to join immediately. Dear office bearers, the CC members of AKBRF, the lovely 63 participants who enthusiastically registered with us for the trial of workshop to be conducted, members of the subcommittees, and the enthusiastic coordinator of the meeting of the workshop, Comrade S.C Jain, and the pivotal architect behind this attempt, Program Director, Comrade Kumar Menon, and my dear comrades. Really, our joy flows beyond leaps and bounds to have this august assembly of eminent leadership, and AKBRF remains in salute to all. We are sure the occasion will pour more vigor and know-how about our movement and matters related to the retirees, and it will give more impetus to the participants of this workshop. AKBRF is an organization registered under Trade Union Act 1926, and imbibing the legacy of the foreigners of AKBRF, the perspective and the perseverance of the members while in service have to be continued and further boosted up even after retirement. Self-confidence through acquiring knowledge is the exalted expectation and aim of this workshop, this classes, where the workshop scheduled over time, when accomplished, will bring out enable leadership to carry forward the torch of All India Bank Retirees Federation jubilantly. We have got amongst us Comrade S.C Jain, our beloved General Secretary, not only as an inaugurator of this workshop, but also as the first faculty to engage a class for the concept of defined benefits and its significance to in present in post-retirement life. It's very important topic. As we all know, retirees organization have not been invited for any negotiation by the Indian Bank Association. But our General Secretary and the team under him leave no stone unturned to see that all the attempts to be made to capture the occasions to protect our demands at the appropriate forum. Our General Secretary and his team have done all these things. We feel more jubilant and more active than in the service, while in service, because of the sustained work that is being carried forward by All India Bank Retirees Federation under the leadership of Comrade S.C Jain. Our demands are yet to be accomplished, are yet to be clinched, but we expect that we will get the fruit soon. But for that, we have to endeavor, and this workshop of this kind will go a long way to deliver the good, to see that our members are enlightened, so that a second leadership is fostered within no time. I don't wish to add much. I come to my duties. I extend a welcome, a hearty welcome, a hearty vote of thanks to the chairman of the meeting, Comrade P.S. Balan. I propose vote of thanks to Comrade General Secretary AKBRF S.C Jain. I propose vote of thanks to Comrade K. Srinivasan, Chairman of AKBRF, C.D. Josen, K.S. Krishna, and B. Ram Prakash are to attend the meeting. I propose vote of thanks to them also. The office bearers of All India Bank Retirees Federation, among the 46 office bearers, the following persons, the following comrades are participating in the meeting: Gajanan Jog, Comrade S.C Srinivasan, Comrade Vishwadhar Naik, Comrade A.K. Bensal, Comrade B. Raitata, Comrade Ashok Patil, Comrade Manabendra Mandal, Comrade Mitra Basu, besides our Comrade Verma and John Joseph. I propose vote of thanks to all the people. Now, the jubilant, the active participants of this workshop, we expect that about 63 persons will participate actively in the workshops, in 15 workshops over a period of time, so that we will be able to bring out a very able leadership to forge ahead. I extend, I propose vote of thanks to this young comrade, they are young because when compared to all of us, they are most of the people are just past 60 because they are office bearers of the bankers organizations and district committees. So they are more energetic, and I propose vote of thanks to all these participants. I propose vote of thanks to office bearers of AKBRF and Central Committee members of AKBRF. Not the last but not the least are the people, Comrade Kumar Menon and Comrade S.C Jain, who have done a wonderful job to organize this workshops and over this over online, because Comrade Menon is a very computer savvy, so that he has done it beautifully, and we are in a position to the more than 78-80 people are participating in this meeting. Once again, I propose vote of thanks to all the participants, all the people, all the comrades who have participated in the meeting. And with this a few words, I conclude my speech on vote of thanks. Thank you.
I have to start now.
Sir, okay, we can start now. That is a program. Workshop is the next program. I hope nobody needs a break of 2 minutes or anything of that sort.
No.
Anyhow, don't log out. Okay, sir, it is better. Sir, if you are Jain, sir, if you are ready, we can start the program.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kumar. So, all my dear colleagues present here, before I come to the today's topic, which has been allotted to me or which has been picked by me. So, only thing while giving my introduction by the General Secretary AKBRF, Comrade K. Srinivasan, he has used the word authority on HR. It is a very heavy word. It puts a lot of responsibility and expectation of the people. So it is nothing like that. He has always been very kind to me, and nowhere I am authority on HR. In the banking, since I joined and I retired, I used my common sense more. And I was always trying to sense the environment prevailing in the bank, in the office where I am working, and in the banking industry as well. And according to that, I used to work and then make a growth going up. So nothing, I was more known as a jack of all trade, master of none. So this was my style of functioning in the banking industry, and I am very lucky because of the environmental factors. A few years back, I wrote one article in the newspaper. That was the pencil, sharpener, and this eraser. These were the three very important tools I used to use for my performance, because they were very important in the manual environment. You were required to balance the books, you were required to keep the record very properly, and for that purpose, and your performance used to be judged by the administrative offices, by the authorities, regional manager. It was largely judged on the parameter of housekeeping. Housekeeping was the most key important factor. Many of you must be knowing, if your books are balanced, your submission of returns are in time, you will be judged as a good officer, and promotion from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, even up to 4 was not a big issue. Those who were missing in that, they were considered as a non-performer. So I could judge, and then these three important tools, three important weapons I used to keep. Today, if you tell to the present generation about these things, possibly they will laugh on that. What is the use of pencil? What is the use of eraser? What is the use of sharpener? So this is how the change has come, and the effective person in the profession, that who is able to pick up the change, test the change, and then according to adopt. Because change is a very important part of the life. So anticipate the change and then adopt the change and enjoy the change. Who has that attitude, they are more effective, more successful. So I am no authority on this. Only thing, normally I don't talk much about my past. Past is a past, it has gone. So we cannot, because many times we invite the problems or we invite the tension because we always regret our past. Most of the time we regret the past. I should have done like this, but I have not done, and this is a mistake I committed. So past gives a regret, and the future gives an uncertainty, because always what will happen, whether updation will take place or not, what will happen, what will be my future relationship, what will happen, how will be my health for senior citizens. So, but those who live in the present, they get more satisfaction, they enjoy the life more. So in that regard, only one thing I would like to add, because today the topic has come. So one thing, if you go to the Google, and you put my name, S.C Jain, only one introduction will find that you will find the court case in the Bombay High Court. And what happened somewhere in the year 97, I was due for promotion from AGM to DGM. And my this result was kept in a sealed cover. It is a process because there was one complaint against me in the bank, and then I was feeling aggrieved because there is a letdown procedure of the sealed cover in the discipline and appeal regulation, where it is said that unless you issue a memorandum, may not be a charge sheet, you cannot keep the result in the sealed cover. But nothing that sort of was done. It was a very preliminary sort of complaint, and no much investigation was done, but it was kept because CVO at that time he wanted that till this is over, let it be in sealed cover. So I used to approach, and then nothing happened, and then ultimately I was forced to go to the court, and I filed a writ petition in 98, and it went to the division bench. And that time, the day on which it came to for hearing, my advocate was not present. He had to go out of Bombay. He was required to go to Delhi. I made a request that, sir, after a long effort, this date has come, and if you don't argue and don't present my case, possibly when next turn will come, it will be difficult. But he did not agree. Then I myself appeared before the bench, and I made a request that as a petitioner, I may be allowed to argue. They said, are you sure that you will be able to argue, and it may damage you also? It is okay, but I am very confident. And then I myself argued before the division bench, and the decision came in my favor, and my seal cover was opened, and I was promoted as a DGM. And possibly in the banking industry, I may be the only person from AGM straight away to the general manager. I was promoted for 1 month. Technical reason they kept me as a DGM. So just as an incident, it has nothing to do with the subject. So this is how thing happened. Now the topic which I have picked up is a concept of defined benefit pension scheme and relevant provision in the pension regulations. This is a topic I propose to cover in today's this session, first session. And I think I can take about 60 minutes. 60 minutes will be okay?
Okay. You can take even 1 hour.
Yeah.
60 minutes, 1 hour.
Okay.
Even if it is more, it doesn't matter. You can.
Okay, I will try to cover, and maybe because the teaching job I am doing after a long time. Because of course teaching was my first love. I wanted to be teacher, but at that time in 60s, you did not have much choice. Whatever job is available, you have to pick up, because it was a question of survival. Because jobs were not available and the choice was very limited. So instead of becoming a teacher, I became a banker. And in bank, of course, I was given a assignment of the faculty member for 5-6 years, and that was one of my most good period in the banking career. So today I am very grateful to the AKBRF that I have been given this opportunity, and I will try to enjoy it, and I hope I will be able to give some material, some inputs for this program. If now coming to the subject, if you see the history of pension in the Indian context, after the 1857 independence war, the rule of the country was taken over directly by the British government. Earlier, it used to be administered and run by the East India Company. But learning from the various mistakes committed by the East India Company, the British government thought that a lot of reforms are necessary in the administration of the country. And in 1858, first time, the concept of the pension scheme was introduced for the civil servants of the country as a reward for the loyalty to the crown. It was basically for a loyalty. And initially it was given to the British officers who were working in India, but after some time it was given to the to Indian civil servants also. And this was the beginning of the pension concept as a superannuation benefit. And then it started moving from years to years, decade to decade. And somewhere in the beginning of this 20th century, after 1905, or like some banks also, they also introduced a pension scheme for the retirees, and one was the presidency banks, presidency Bank of Calcutta, Bombay, and Madras. They also introduced, and later on they were merged, and State Bank of India was formed. And there also the pension scheme has been going. Even 1955, these three banks were merged and State Bank of India was formed. And there also this scheme continued. One another bank which was run mostly by the Britishers, by the Europeans, and it was Allahabad Bank. There also the pension scheme was given as a superannuation benefit. And we all know that banking industry, because of the continuous efforts made by them, it came in 1995. So this is how the pension scheme started in the Indian context in the India, and it was given as a superannuation benefit. If we see the most important feature of all the pension scheme, whether the scheme of the government given to the government sector or State Bank of India retirees or Allahabad Bank retirees, one thing was very common, and it was the most important. It is like a soul that they were given the benefits which were to be received and which were given to the retiree. They were defined one. They were already known to them that how much pension they will get and how their pension will be computed and how it will be given. And therefore, it is known as a defined benefit pension scheme. The scheme which is available to all of us in the banking industry as well as in the government and later on in the financial sector to the other entities. The common feature is that it is a defined benefit pension scheme where all the benefits which are going to accrue, which are going to be received, they all are well defined and they are known in advance. What are the benefits of this defined benefit scheme? We will discuss. I will discuss later on. But this feature is continuing, and of course, the second biggest reform in the pension scheme came in the year 1986 after 130 years of introduction of pension scheme in this country in 1858, and that was the very vital, very important, historical came that because of the Supreme Court decision in Nakara case, it was in addition to the defined benefit, a pension of the previous retiree, those who retired in early year, that also need to be reviewed periodically along with the review of the service condition of the employees. And that is known, we call it as an updation. After 130 years, it took to achieve this demand by the retirees of the government sector. And that is a big transformation came and the change was brought. So the defined benefit pension scheme is in existence and it continued up to 2004. And because of the changes in the global economic environment, the socialism concept was becoming a dying concept, and the Russia collapsed, and then it collapsed in other countries, and the capitalism started coming to the forefront, and the competition, the survival of fittest, and these concepts came. So the employers, they also raised the voice, and then the government also thought that we cannot take a responsibility for the uncharted territory. Uncharted means under the defined benefit scheme, there are some benefits which are dynamic, which are variable. And that territory is known as uncharted territory. You do not know how much liability will come. So government cannot, the employer cannot take. And the first time in the government sector, another pension scheme. Globally, there are two types of pension scheme. One is this, what we are enjoying or what is going on in the government sector. is a defined benefit pension scheme. But the second pension scheme which was bought, it is known as a defined contribution pension scheme, where the benefits are not known in advance, and but the contribution is defined, that the employer will contribute this much, employee will contribute this much, and the funds will be deployed, they will be invested, and based on the performance of the fund, the benefits will be computed, they will be distributed. So that is known as a defined contribution scheme, or in India we call it as a NPS, new pension scheme. Since it was a new concept, the name given by the government is a new pension scheme. It came, and in the banking industry also it was introduced in 2010. So the second scheme, this came, where how much pension will be given, it depends upon the performance of the pension fund, and the employer liability ceases the day on which the employee retires. After retirement, the employer will not contribute any single rupee extra for the past retirees. If the funds are performing better, if the investment climate is good, the pension may be will be higher. If the funds are, because of the economic cycle, if they are not working well, then possibly the benefits may come down also. So that fluctuation. So NPS is known. Now coming back to our defined benefit pension scheme, let us see what are the benefits and why do we want, and how it has traveled in the last decade, last several years, more than say almost about 160, 170 years. Banking industry also 35 years have gone. How it has worked, and what are the benefits? Because once we retire, our income source get shrinked. They become limited. I will have either some interest income or this pension income, and 95% they are not engaged in the job. Possibly they don't have that much skill that they can get a job, or they don't have that aptitude also. Banking is a very, very general sort of your knowledge, and therefore the demand may not be high in the market, and otherwise also bankers have to move from place to place. We are in the scattered industry, large number of offices throughout the country, so already traveled so much, so we want to be at our original place, the native place, or the place where I want to settle. So I don't have that aptitude to move for the job. So job is very, very limited. Only 5% people, I think, retirees, they go for it, and the rest they depend on the other source of income. So in that environment, my first requirement is that there should not be undue fluctuation, or there should not be any fluctuation in my pension scheme, pension benefits. Whatever is to be, I have to receive, it should be known to me, it should be properly defined, and I should know in advance without fluctuation. So this is the biggest benefit we enjoy. It provides a lot of confidence, it provides a lot of peace to the mind, it provides a stability among the person. That is the most important benefit of the defined benefit pension scheme. No, maybe a little less. I may be getting, had I gone for a NPS, had I gone for a defined contribution pension scheme, possibly I would have got a better pension, because that is being claimed. The Western countries are telling how we perform better. Our pension funds, they are managed by the professionals and they do it. So therefore, it is better. NPS is better. It is being propagated. But since the class to which we belong, the environment in which we live, the country in which we live, we believe that my first priority, my first requirement, there should be continuity, there should be stability, and it should be free from fluctuation. So the defined benefit pension scheme, it meets my this very important requirement. And secondly, I can plan everything. How much even if I am getting little less, but I can do my financial planning, and I can plan it that how much I should spend on my food, how much money I will be needing for my medical treatment, and how much surplus I will have, how much I should spend on my social obligations. All these things I can plan it because this is known in advance that how much benefits I am going to receive. So that is a second benefit we receive it. And the third thing that is that of course it is available in the NPS also, that I want a periodical payment. I don't want a lump sum payment. Lump sum payment, they are full of risk. They look attractive when we receive it, but they are subject to the attack. There can be various types of attack, and then possibly they may vanish in a very short period. We have seen when the golden handshake scheme came, the VRS came in 2000, the people got a very handsome amount, 20 lakh, 25 lakhs for leftover period. They got 2 months salary for each year of service like that, and 20 lakh, 25 lakh came. But when we try to take a feedback from our colleagues, we have collected the feedback in Bank of India. 75% people, they have lost that corpus because of various reasons, because of temptation, because of the pressure from the relatives, because of the pressure from the kids, and they disappear. So we have reached to a conclusion that all the years I served as an employee. So I have a very limited appetite for the risk. I cannot take the risk, and therefore I am very good in managing my financial affairs for a limited period of 30 days. And beyond that, my entire my strategy may come at a risk. Therefore, periodical payment has a tremendous significance. Let us understand, because it has a lot of power. If I suppose 1 month I have committed a mistake and my all pension of that month is over at 25th day of the month, so I will be in problem only for 5 days, because I know that on the first I am going to get a pension, and then my problems will be over. So the periodical payment is a very, very important feature of the pension scheme. So, and that's the biggest beauty of this. So, defined benefit pension, the benefits are defined in advance. And if you see our pension regulation through which we are all are governed at present, and which has a total focus on the defined benefit pension scheme, and there are 3 types of benefits which are available to the pensioner who is a member of the pension scheme. 3 benefits are available. Number 1 is a basic pension. Number 2 is a variable dearness component, which is known as a dearness relief. And the third is a optional repayable commutation amount, a one-time benefit, but it has to be repaid. It has to be, and it is optional. So these 3 benefits are available, and they have been properly codified. They have been documented. They have been converted into various provisions, various laws in the pension regulation. Concept-wise, it looks very good, yes, but unless they are properly documented, they are properly provided in the settlement, it doesn't give a confidence, a definite trend. It doesn't give, and therefore, while those who entered into the settlement and those the model which the banking industry has picked up from the government on the basis of the various lot of experience of the government sector in the pension scheme, which when we adopted, it had already completed 140 years of its existence. So based on that, the best model which has been picked up, that everything has been codified. So this concept of the defined benefit pension scheme, it is extensive and it is intensive. I will deal with all these points. So first of all, if you see the basic pension is properly defined in regulation number 35 of the pension regulation 19. How it is going to be computed? It is very well mentioned that it will be a 10 months average and 50% of the last paid drawn 50 and all. So it is well known in advance. When you are retiring, you know what is going to be my basic pay or the other allowances which will qualify for the pension. It is known. On the basis of that, every pensioner can compute his basic pension. So it is a first provision in the pension regulation that how this basic pension is going to be, and it is the most important component. So this will be known, and further it is mentioned in the regulation that that while calculating your length of service will also be taken into consideration, and that consideration is that the 50% will be paid if one completes 33 years of service. Full service of 33 years is completed, he will get 50%. But if somebody doesn't complete 33 years service, then the pension, basic pension will be proportionate. This is also given in the regulation. So one is aware for calculating this benefit, there are not many disputes. The bank, you see that our pension claims, sanction of the pension, it is done in a very fast, in a very limited time. Hardly there are disputes on that because they are very well codified in the pension scheme. And thereafter it is said, if somebody has not completed the 33, he has completed less than, and he has opted to leave the bank other than the superannuation, on superannuation date, it is called as a VRS. If somebody goes the VRS, he is given some reward of the leftover service, maximum 5 years it is given. So they can be calculated, and then the so all these eventualities have been taken into account. If you read, they are very effective, very beautiful, very well defined, and they are targeted towards the common man. That they are targeted. They have not been made. No loopholes have been left. That is the beauty we love to understand. They are really enjoyable if you read them very properly. So the basic pension is the first component which is defined in the regulation. So this is the first part of that. So one can calculate, and then if you go to the next provision, regulation number 36, suppose one is retiring as a part-time sweeper or as a sub-staff, and his basic pay is very less, or he has not put a full length of 33 years of service, he retires a little earlier, and his basic pension comes very low. Then more protection is given towards this defined benefit, that is a minimum pension. So if the pension actually calculated comes to less, there is a provision of the minimum pension. So that care has also been, all eventualities have been taken into care. Full length of service, VRS, proportionate service, etc. They have been taken into consideration, and based on that, the basic pension can be calculated. Now coming to the next component, that is a DNS relief. It has been envisaged that we are in a dynamic world. The things are changing. Inflation is a part of the economic environment. For the growth, the prices go up. For other regions, the political region, the geographical regions, for the environment in the area, the inflation comes. Now we are witnessing in case of the Ukraine-Russia conflict. All of a sudden, the crude prices have gone up, the metal prices are going up very high, and it is affecting the level of inflation. So, how to give a protection to the retiree under the defined benefit pension scheme? So, for that, the provisions have been made under regulation number 37 that a variable DNS relief will be paid to the retiree, and it will be reviewed once in 6 months. So 6 months period has been fixed, and the formulas are given for a retiree of different groups. If you retire in this period, this is how your DNS relief will be. I'm not going into the merit today. I am touching more technical points, and not that what improvements are necessary. Yes, improvement we are fighting. We are taking a lot of organizational steps, but today directly it is not a subject matter of that. So that is why I told in the beginning itself, today I will behave like a teacher. So what are the factual position I am trying to place? So the DNS relief also, there are very clear-cut formula. As and when the new settlement takes place for the employee, the DA formula for retiree also, the new formula is introduced. And there are 8-9 formulas which are going on. And according to that, the DA is reviewed once in 6 months, in the month of August, in the month of February. So that is also known, and this particular benefit which is available, it has helped a lot to the retiree in fighting the inflation, in dealing, in meeting the financial liability. So this is a very important provision. It is also a very good defined benefit, and benefit is very well codified in this. So this is a second benefit which is there, and the third benefit is that a commutation is also one benefit which is available. Of course, it is optional, but when the Britishers came and they found that the government servant has to move to discharge the duties, and then at the time of retirement he wants to settle at one place, and he was enjoying some other perks and facilities from the employer, from the government, like a furniture, vehicle, etc. And once he retires, he will be out of place, and then he may have to meet some other social obligation, the marriage of the children, etc., which might not have taken place during the service period. There will be. So they introduce a concept of a very soft loan. Commutation is not, but a sort of loan given to the retiree. So you can organize, you can arrange your life in a proper and effective manner, and the commutation is there. It is being dealt in the regulation number 40. All the various provisions have been made that how it will be calculated. If your age is this, you will get this much factor. Your age is that, you will get it. And how it is going to be recovered. 15 years, the pension, basic pension will get reduced without disturbing the DA component, etc. So this is also given. So these are the broad 3 things which are there, and they are the integral part of the defined benefit pension scheme, and according to that calculated. But the thing is that it does not stop here. It has been given a further force. A lot of safeguards have been provided in the pension regulation for proper implementation. This is a concept part. Okay, I have defined what will be your basic pension, what will be the DA entitlement, what will be your entitlement or commutation. But the thing is that at implementation stage, what will be the challenges which are going to come, and what sort of safeguard should be provided. What sort of safeguard? Because it is a contract for a long period. If you see the average life expectancy of this country, it is 72, 73 years, means 13 years. And then there is a provision of the family pension also, because benefits are extended not only for the pensioner, but it is extended to the family pensioner, and in certain cases, the children of the family, they are also entitled like a physically handicapped person. So it is a fairly long period, maybe 17 years, 20 years. So there should be some safeguards that it is properly implemented and I get my pension interrupted. Otherwise, the things will remain in paper. That I want a payment today and benefit is not available because of certain hostile, certain adverse development taking place in the functioning of the bank or in the overall environment of the country. So those safeguards have been also taken in this in a very, very intensive, in a very, very extensive manner. And the first is that though the pension scheme in the banking industry has come through a negotiated settlement, the demand was raised by the unions, they forcefully followed up, and ultimately the government was posed or government took a decision to extend this benefit, and then the scheme was introduced, a MOU was signed, and thereafter to give a safeguard, to give all checks and controls, this was converted into a sort of regulation. And those regulations, if you see, they were formed under the provisions of the Banking Acquisition and Transfer and Acquisition Act 1970 to give a legal sanctity, a legal support. And if you see the preamble of our pension regulation, that should work like a Bible or Gita or Quran. Everybody retiring, those who are participating in this program, they should read at least 5 to 10 times that preamble, because it gives a whole power, whole authority. Because I have been given this particular assurance when I joined the scheme, and when I am leaving that I will get these benefits. But what is the legal force in that? It is provided in the preamble of our pension regulation. It is mentioned as a first part, and it is written that in exercise of the power confirmed by the clause F and of subsection 2 of section 19 of the Banking Companies Acquisition and Transfer Undertaking Act 1970, the Board of Directors after consultation with the Reserve Bank of India and with the previous sanction of the central government, hereby makes the following regulations. So before making any change in this provision, the board of the bank, the management of the bank will be required to take a previous sanction of the central government, and the RBI has also to be consulted. So it is a big detail. If the bank is not functioning in a particular year, they cannot make any change in the settlement because it has a legal force. This is known pension regulation in the as per the provisions of the Constitution. It is known as a subordinate law. It is a part of the Banking Acquisition and Transfer of Undertaking Act. It gives the biggest safeguard. Unilaterally, the change cannot be made. So whatever three benefits which we have said, they are assured, they are guaranteed by the government. Unless the government takes a decision, if the central government decides, possibly it may be, and for that the permission, the sanction, the approval of the parliament will be necessary. So that is a power given to this defined benefit pension scheme. And we are very fortunate that we are enjoying this power. We are enjoying, and this is really a thing which our activists should know, that this is a power. So that is the first thing which has been done. That not only they have been concept has been developed, but the further safeguard, the safeguard number 1 is that it will be a perpetual type of thing. It will be a sort of permanent thing, and any retiree can get assured. He can feel comfortable. The benefits which are defined I am going to get, and there will not be any modification, alteration, which is adverse to me. Favorable, of course, favorable, we also demand, we also want, but adverse will not happen without my, that should give a comfort not only to the pensioner, but even to his or her spouse and to the children. They are physically handicapped, unmarried daughters, etc. It gives. So that is a one safeguard. But the other safeguards which have been given is, if you see that the fund, it is provided in regulation number 7 that there should be uninterrupted payment of the pension without linking it with the performance of the bank. The provision has been made in the pension regulation about the constitution of the pension fund in each bank. Well, I am talking about public sector bank, private sector bank, the position is little different. But the fund, it is provided, and the funds will be run by the trust. Various provisions have been made. Who is the contributor to the pension fund? The sole contributor to the pension fund is the employer. Employer is required to contribute, not the employee. Employee is those who join the pension scheme and they were in service at the time of introducing the pension scheme. Their bank contribution was transferred. It was not a contribution of the employee, it was a contribution of the bank, and it was transferred instead from provident fund, transferred to the pension fund. So, but it was a contribution of the bank employer. So the sole contributor to the pension fund is a employer. So that is a one provision, and the employer is under obligation to continuous to contribute to this pension fund for those members of the pension fund who are in the service, yet in the service. Every year the banks are required. That is another safeguard which is given, that one-time contribution will not be sufficient. It has to contribute on a regular basis, monthly basis or annual basis to the pension fund, and it will be equivalent to the bank's employer obligation towards the peer. That is what they are required to contribute. It is statutory, it is obligatory, they are required to contribute. And those provisions have been made in regulation number 7. It needs to be studied very, very, very minutely, and it gives a whole support, whole strength to the whole concept of the defined benefit pension scheme. So without this regulation number 7 to 11, possibly it may become redundant over a period of time, the whole concept. So the pension fund is a very, very important safeguard which has been provided, and the responsibility has been fixed that the contributor to the pension fund will be alone and alone the bank. Let us not misconcept the contribution which has come from at the time of joining the scheme. It was the bank's contribution transferred from one account to this another account. Then further it is an obligation has been put. If you read the regulation number 11, which says the further safeguard, how the safeguards have been provided, that that every year the fund will be required to carry out the actuary exercise. This is a very, very important exercise which is required to be carried out. It is mandatory for the bank management that every year they should carry out an actuary exercise. And actually, they are the experts. They carry out what is likely to be the pension obligations and whether the existing provisions of the funds are sufficient or not. If they are not sufficient, the management, before declaring the performance of the bank, they will be required to make additional provision and transfer the amount to the pension fund. That is a legal requirement. So, in case of the retirees who are already retired, who are getting benefit of pension, they are not an active pensioner. There are two types of pensioner. One is a passive, you are a member of the pension scheme, but you have not started getting benefit of the pension. You are only the contribution is coming, but the benefit will start in a future date. And those who are already getting, they are active. So under the defined benefit pension scheme, under the provisions of the pension regulation, not only is the bank is required to contribute for the existing employee who are going to become the future pensioner, but they are required to make shortfall good coming in discharging and paying the pension liability to the existing pensioners who are already retired, who are active. So that obligation goes to that extent. In case of NPS, once you retire, the obligation of the bank management will be over for the retiree employee. So if you take example, I would request you to understand this whole concept that when you retire, suppose you retired 10 years back, you retired 15 years back. So what amount you left in the pension fund, means bank contribution, how much you left, and how much pension you are getting at the present rate of interest, the rate of return, you will find that what amount you left, it is not sufficient to make payment of your existing pension. Not sufficient. It will happen. I am very sure in all cases. We are calculating many cases. I left 5 lakh, and suppose I am getting 40,000 per month, about 5 lakh. So 5 lakh will not give that much yield. So there is a shortfall. Who is making that shortfall? Because of this provision in the regulation. The regulation number 11 makes it obligatory on the management that you contribute additionally. This is the most important characteristics, most beautiful, most attractive characteristics for us is that the bank is forced. If suppose this provision is not there, I think the funds would have evaporated. The banks are required to contribute very, very heavily every year for not only for the existing, but for the past retiree. Sometimes there is a misconception. When we see 3 lakh, lot of messages they keep on spreading in the WhatsApp. The funds are 3 lakh crore, 2 lakh crore, but they need to be properly studied. They are not even sufficient. Even when the increase in the family pension has come, the banks will be required. They are required to make, and now amortization has been done. So in the 4 or 5 installments, this will be done. So these are the regulation number 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They are the biggest safeguard towards the implementation of the concept of this defined benefit pension scheme. So these are this has been further extended. All eventualities have been taken. By defined benefit, I have become a member, but whether I will get. So there are various types of various types of pension, class of pensions have been conceived. I will tell you, suppose one person is in the service and he joined because of some illness, because of medical problem. After certain years, he is not able to continue and he wants a pension benefit. And if you see our regulation, the qualifying service is 20 years. After 20 years, one becomes eligible for the pension. And if the special VRS scheme is brought by the management, then the qualifying service is 15 years. So this is there. But suppose after 10 years service, I am not able to attend the bank's duties and I want to retire from the bank, whether I will get a benefit. This is one situation which has come. This is provided in the pension regulation and this is known as invalid pension. You must have heard this invalid pension. If you study the regulation on 30, I will not be able to read each and every regulation. I wanted to prepare actually all charts and present it, but I could not get all that technical support. if it is a physical class, possibly I could have explained on the board. So invalid pension is a one situation. It is a further extension of the concept of benefit of the defined. Even after 10 years service, the qualifying service for the invalid pension is a 10 years. After 10 years, medically, if I am not fit, I will be eligible to get the benefit of defined pension. So this is also a very, very good provision in favor of the employee, in favor of the retiree. Second is a compassionate allowance. This is the extreme of the welfare concept under the defined benefit pension scheme. Suppose, because I'm working in a sector, in an industry where the risk is very high, I am required to take a decision on the various financial matters, sanction of loans, the dealing with the deposit, dealing with the different customer. In the whole process, if some grave mistake has taken place, which is known as a gross misconduct, if it has taken place, and the authorities under the discipline regulation, they take a decision of dismissing the employee as a punishment, as a major punishment. In that case, the pension regulations have recognized, our constitution also recognized that he has a right to survive. He has a right to survive. And for survival, some financial support is needed, and which is provided under regulation number 31, a compassionate allowance. So the competent authority can consider a compassionate allowance based on his financial circumstances, the gravity of the charges. One second. So it cannot be denied. This is the best part of your defined benefit, a total element of the social welfare. We are in the welfare state, and it is happening. I have also dealt many cases on the humanitarian ground, on the ground of right to survive, and I cannot allow the person to die because he has committed such. A compensation allowance can be considered, it can be sanctioned by the competent authority, and it can be maximum 2/3 of the normal pension. That is a provision. That is a further extension of the whole scheme of benefit of. Now, compulsory retirement, it is a very well-known concept. We have fought for it, and the compulsory retired person is also eligible for minimum 2/3 pension, maximum full pension, and that provision is also met. Though the compulsory retirement is a sort of punishment in many cases, so but he is eligible, and in this connection, the discretion is given to the competent authority that he may reduce the pension to the 2/3, not beyond that. There is no unlimited discretion to the competent authority, maximum 2/3. But in many banks, because of the fight, because of the issues taken up, and recently when in 2018, the pension option was given as per the settlement of 2010, many banks, they have agreed to give a full pension to the compulsory retired. It is happening. In PNB, I remember, our Basuji can tell, I think he is present here, that it is given to the full pension unless there are very grave financial losses to the bank. So that is also an extension of the whole concept of the defined benefit. A premature retirement, if it is given, sometimes the bank, because of administrative reasons, they give a premature. Then also under regulation 32, there is a provision. And the family pension, of course, it is the most extensive part. It is of the defined benefit, and family pension, they are all governed under regulation number 41, which need to be studied. I think this itself can be a very big topic, and there are various aspects, all situations, a separated wife, judicially separated wife, the children, if because of the religion, if one has more than one wife, how the pension after the death of the pension should be given to the family, etc. If you read, there are about 12 clauses in that. They are dealing with every every situation, and they are codified, they are incorporated there. So the benefit not only goes to the pensioner, the benefit of the defined benefit is available even to the family pension. So it is very, very extensive, very, very intensive provisions, and we are really lucky that we are getting so much protection. We are not, many times we are not aware, and we operate only on the emotional level. But without these safeguards, how the scheme will work, and they have been provided. And the another thing is that if you read the whole regulation, the competent authority, of course, it requires a sanction of the competent authority, but they are not given any much discretion. There is no choice. I don't like this employee had fought with me, and so on administrative reason, I will withhold his pension. No, he cannot. He is not allowed because there is no provision. He has to sanction the pension. So it has become only a formality, and 99% cases they are sanctioned. Even there is a provision for a provisional pension if some disciplinary action is going on and it could not be completed before the retirement, and the inquiry will continue even after the retirement. Till that case is disposed of, the bank is under obligation to give a provisional pension to the retiree so he can meet his expenses. So one after another, all the provisions, 70% of the provision, they fortify, they give a very strong support to the whole concept of the defined benefit pension scheme, and these benefits are nowhere available in the MPS, and what is available to the retirees, to the pensioner who are covered under the pension regulation 1995. So my humble request to all the participants, because I am covering in a very brief, I have not been able to read each and every provision which I have mentioned here, but it is my humble request that they should be very carefully, religiously, they should be read, they should be discussed. For us, the pension regulation is like a Gita, it is like a Bible, it is like a Quran. So we must keep on reading, they should be debated, they should be discussed. It will make us a very, very informed activist, and with a full knowledge of what is the significance, how it has been achieved, and we will start feeling proud of that. So, in short, I have tried to cover the concept of the defined benefit and the relevant provisions, and whatever struggle we are pursuing, we are making, it is only in the improvement in the quantum and some other improvements. Our fight is there. Basically, the defined benefit pension scheme is a most wonderful, very attractive, very important. It is a very significant measure toward the concept of the social welfare, which has been there, and we should all cherish it. We should try to understand the meaning of each and every clause. So with this, I would like to conclude, and I am really grateful to the AKBRF leadership that they have given me opportunity, and I have made effort to cover as much as possible, which was in my knowledge. But if I have missed anything, and which is important, I think there is a provision for some interactive. If there are some questions on the subject, they may be asked, and I will try to respond to them to the best of my knowledge. If I am not able to respond immediately on a particular point, I assure you that after some time, after verifying the relevant record, I will come today is a very great moment of satisfaction that I got an opportunity to function as a teacher. Teaching is a very enjoyable function for me. So thank you very much for giving this opportunity. And once again, I wish all the best for all sessions. And thanks to all leadership, to the convener, to all participants who are present, and thanks to our AIBRF office bearers who are present. And thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. So, as indicated by Jain Sahab, any question answers? Srinivasan sir, I think we can start if anybody has any doubts, they may raise. Hello?
I am CP Jose.
CP Jose has raised his hand.
Okay, sir. While I am thanking you, Jain Sahab, for your extensive and intensive, what I can say, detailing about the pension schemes, defined pension schemes, I would like to have a doubt whether the pension regulation 1995 accepted by public sector bank and also accepted by private sector bank, whether the private sector bank can revoke their concurrence after in a subsequent day or subsequent period, whether they can revoke, private sector bank management can revoke the pension regulations once they have given the consent.
Respond one by one or at a time all?
It's better if we can answer then itself, otherwise we'll have to noted down and then again by that time. That's what
has raised that because what has happened that when the pension scheme was demanded and ultimately it was sanctioned for all members of IBA, which include the public sector banks and the private sector banks. Pardon? So it was included, but technically speaking, the private sector banks, they don't enjoy the privileges facility which is available to the employees, to the retirees of the public sector, because there is a Supreme Court decision that earlier there was a lot of legal doubt that what is the status of the public sector enterprise. And the Supreme Court decided about 30 years back that since the management is controlled by the government, they should be treated as a state. Because of that particular Supreme Court decision, all the public sector banks, they are treated as a state, and therefore the benefit, the privileges, the rights given in the writ petition jurisdiction, it is available to the employees and retirees of public sector bank. It is not available. Having said this, but at the same time, technically, of course, what you say, it may be revoked, but it will not be easy because first of all, it is a negotiated settlement. There are two characters of our pension scheme. There are two stages. One is that it was negotiated and then it was converted into a subordinate law as far as the public sector banks are concerned. Private sector banks, they were adopted. So they are under obligation. It cannot be unilaterally changed, modified. Practically, it is not possible. Technically, what you say, there may be some substance, but practically, they cannot do. So all our retirees of the private sector bank, they can feel assured that they more or less they are enjoying same privileges. But if some provision is to be challenged or some modification when they come, the route may be little different. Sometimes they say you go to the civil court and then invoke or contest a legal battle, and this also need to be tested, because once it has come to the settlement, whether the private sector we can try through a writ petition, any issue involved related to the private sector bank. Recently that 1684, that Kotak Bank, the implementation part came. That time we discussed with the advocate in Delhi. They say yes, because they are part of you. It is a part of all India. You should try in the court. Of course, what will be the court will be very difficult to say. So one day it may come that we may be required to test in the court. But practical purpose, my view, my opinion that we are, whether it is a public sector or private sector bank pensioner, they are almost on the same footing. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. What I mentioned here, it is something is going on in the erstwhile Lakshmi Vilas Bank. That is why I mentioned this.
I know, sir.
And my one more question, sir. If I am completing 28 years of service, whether I am eligible for full pension, whether I will get 5 years grace period.
Sir, 28 years service is one aspect. First of all, what is your mode of leaving the bank? Whether it is a VRS or premature or medical or all these things, we'll have to. That is number one. Number two, how many years of service are left? How many years? Suppose you are left only with a 2-year service. After 30, because of your date of joining, you are eligible only for the 30-year service, and then you will be superannuated. So how many years? The maximum is 5 years. If you are 28 and you are left with a more than 5 years, you will get maximum 5 years.
Okay.
5 years benefit.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Sir,
Yeah.
myself Shamsuddin from Indian Bank. Sir, please give a description regarding pension updation and under present notice.
Today, you allow me to work as a teacher only. Updation we will discuss some other day. Sir, the progress are being reported to you. We are seized of this whole issue. And AIBRF is the only organization which is struggling. And we are working on a continuous basis, and developments are known to you, where the matter has landed. There are various aspects. We are on a mission, I can tell you, and we are going to accomplish, we are going to achieve it, whatsoever may come. We are not going to leave. One very burning example is a family pension. Ultimately, we achieved it. This also I can assure you, we will achieve. If you want me to fix some time frame, not possible. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Shall I ask something?
Yeah.
See, in the case of ex-servicemen, when they have got military pension, their period of service is not counted for bank pension. But in the case of ex-servicemen, they do not get in a military pension due to shortage of service or eligibility criteria. Is it not natural that their military service is counted for bank pension?
Okay. Is it over? Your question is over? Can I, Mr. Iyer?
Yes. In the case of ex-servicemen, while they are getting military pension, their service is not counted for the bank pension.
Naturally.
So there are cases where they do not get military pension due to the shortage of eligibility for pension in military service. Why can't be the bank pension, while calculating bank pension, their military service could be taken into account? That provision is not there, I think, in our pension settlement.
The answer is that as far as the ex-servicemen are concerned, different personnel are concerned, they are allowed to get the two pensions. Pension means whatever pension they are eligible as a service to the defense, they are eligible. And then when they join the bank pension also, they are eligible. And therefore, because of this, that service is not computed. If I am not wrong, of course, I will have to again check up that relevant, but if there is a merger of banks, if banks are merged or banks are taken over, the full service which one has rendered, it will be counted for the pension. Like many mergers have taken place. Syndicate Bank is merged with Canara Bank. So those who come, their service in the syndicate bank will also be counted. That is a provision. And for military personnel, this is a provision. I will again check up the relevant provision in the pension regulation. And if there is some variance, I will revert to you. Thank you.
Shall I say something about that, comrade?
Yeah, please. You can add.
Mr. Iyer,
Yes, yes.
according to my knowledge, this pension regulation, in nowhere in the pension regulation, it is mentioned that the ex-servicemen services to be counted as service rendered in banks. Unless there is a provision in the pension regulation, how banks are liable to count that service? That is the one question. Another question is, somebody has disturbed. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you. We can hear you.
From earlier days onwards, this question was in the limelight. And the government of India is giving directions to the institutions like banks, LIC, and others. What are all the benefits to be extended to the ex-servicemen? And in that directions, there is no mention that their services is to be considered as the services in the respective institutions. And one more thing is, when that question was raised by unions, several ex-servicemen organizations raised the question. And at that time, according to my knowledge, the IBA has taken a decision that for their service in the military, we are not bound to pay the compensation or pension. That is the stand taken by IBA. Unless it is settled through bipartite negotiations or a direction from Government of India, there is no legal binding on banks to pay that, I think. If there is any directions from the government or other bodies contrary to my statement, please inform me also. But according to my understanding, unless there is a clear direction from the government, what are all the benefits to be extended to the ex-servicemen? It varies from institution to institution. When they are employed in banks, some instructions are given to bank. When they are joining in LIC, the direction will be different. When they join LIC, the direction will be different. When they join other public sector, the direction from government will be different. So in the pension regulation, there is no mention. In the government direction, there is no mention. Then that question has to be settled at a bipartite level in the discussion table. I think that it is a very long pending demands, because the ex-servicemen, unless they complete a certain years of service in the service in the military or navy, they will not get pension. So they might have spent some 5-6 years of service in the defense, but that is not counted in the defense or military service, or and it is not counted in the banks also. So it is a very pertinent issue to be settled. I think there is no direction from anywhere. So without any direction, how can banks pay the pension? Because when they consider their service, they will have to pay more pension to them. It is the public money. How can go without any direction or decision or provision in the regulation? How can they pay? I think that we will have to take it up at by party. I think it has been taken up with the United Forum and with the individual unions. I think there also we have to pressurize the UFB.
No, it is not there in the residual issues.
It is not there because they have not taken it up as an issue. That is the question.
But
they should the United Forum, if they decide to take it up, they can take. There is some problem, I think, because there is no direction from the government of India to consider their service. It is the government to decide what are the benefits to be rendered when they are re-employed. That government has not taken any decision, or they have decided that these people need not be paid any compensation for their service if it is not more than this much or like that. Government either they should pressurize the government, or even UFBU is not taking up the issue means we were not able to convince the unions. When we are not able to convince the unions, how can we convince the management? But it is a serious issue. 5-6 years of services of all the ex-servicemen were left in flux. They are not getting any. We will try. We will try with our leaders of IITA in our states whether they can be it can be taken up again and again.
The relevant regulation is regulation number 24 regarding military service. Military service rendered by the employee shall not count as qualifying service for pension.
Yes.
That is what is saying in the regulation number 24 in the military service, qualifying service.
Correct. At that time, there is no direction from the government.
Yes.
But Srinivasan, in Bank of Baroda, the service are counted for fixing the basic pay in the service. While fixing the basic pay, that services are taken into account.
That fixation is given everywhere. There is direction from the government of India that their services, it is not their services, it is their pay. Their pay is considered and higher fixation is given.
Yes, automatically they get a higher pension because of
that's another question. That is another question. But here, IR's demand is that their services should be counted.
Srivasara, my demand is when they are not getting military pension due to lack of service conditions or number of years service is less. So in that case, it can be counted for bank pension. That is what I.
How can they are not? They have no service in the bank.
No.
There is special. No comment. There is specific mention in the pension regulation that their service in the bank will be considered. If they are having minimum 10 years of service, they will get pension. If they are having more service, they will get proportionate pension. If they are having 33 years of service, they will get full pension. But that service in bank, suppose the banks are amalgamated, the previous bank service will also come because it is in the banking industry.
Yes.
But this is another section. Then suppose some government employee joins in the bank, shall we count their service also as banking service and pay them?
Srinivasa, with all respects, I say military service is quite different from any other service.
Why?
Military service, we give more importance and they are fighting for the country and that all.
That's correct. That is correct. They are fighting for the country and ex-servicemen are to be respected. But Government of India decided from time to time they will decide what benefits should be given to the ex-servicemen when they leave the service, and they will give direction to each institution. How can the institution go beyond that direction?
No.
So one thing, Mr. Iyer, one thing, why they are not getting pension in the military services? Why the government is not giving it?
That's what I'm asking.
Malakuttan Nair, already it is told they may not have the eligible service in military. So
That's
they,
the even.
Any other
so they
benefit?
may not be getting. I
So the
question
government,
is,
government offender is not a.
Malakuttan,
No,
Malakuttan, please hear me. Please hear me. My question
We
is,
have
when they have
every respect to the ex-servicemen.
when they have, Srinivas sir, wait a minute. When they have got 6 years or 7 years only service in military, they are not eligible for military pension. In that case, why can't the bank count their service in military as the service in bank and give the pension? That is the question. And because I know that there is no provision in the our settlement for taking into account the service or the military service, because we thought at that time that they will be eligible for military pension. Then military pension they are getting, they do not get 2 pensions at a time eligibility. So that,
First of all, it should be considered by the government of India for their bravery, for their patriotism. But they are not considering.
Why can't we make a demand? Forget about what is happening.
Suppose you raise a demand. Suppose you raise a demand with the management, and then you discuss and settle it with the permission of the government of India, because all settlements in banking industry, because it is public sector, all settlements are approved by the government of India. Take up a
Jain സാറിന് കുറച്ച് സമയം കൊടുത്തൂടെ?
അല്ല, ഇത് ഒരു ഇഷ്യൂ ജയിലിന്റെ മറുപടി പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞല്ലോ. അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് നമ്മൾ അതിനെപ്പറ്റി ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്യണേ. ഇനി അടുത്ത ചോദ്യം വന്നാൽ ആർക്ക് ചോദിക്കാം. ഇത്
ആളില് കൈ പൊന്തിച്ച് നിൽക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. ഓമന ശ്രീനിവാസൻ.
ആരാണ്?
ഓമന ശ്രീനിവാസൻ.
ഓമന ശ്രീനിവാസൻ അത് അറിയാതെ കൈ പോയതാ. അത് താത്താൻ പറ്റുന്നില്ല, കൈ താത്താൻ പറ്റുന്നില്ല.
I suggest one thing. End of the workshop, whatever views come, let it be the suggestion.
Discuss ചെയ്യാം. അതാണ് ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞത്.
Okay.
We will examine
the leaders of AIBA in our states.
So first thing, what is the existing provision? There are some logics, like in case of military service, they are getting two pension, they are getting many other facilities which are available to the defense personnel. But for improvement, yes, we can try. So at the end of this workshop, if some suggestions are coming, they can be sent. We will get it examined, and wherever required, we will take up with them. With the UOBU, with the government, with the IP.
Sir, these pension regulations, is it applicable for State Bank of India also? If so, then why doesn't
State Bank of India, this pension regulation is not applicable. There is another pension regulation in State Bank of India.
They have their own different set of pension regulation. More or less, they are based on the central government pension regulations. They are all identical, but there it is a third benefit, and there are some very significant differences, like the entitlement of basic pension. In the case of the public sector bank, it is 50%. There it is not 50%, it is 40%. Then there are some ceilings also, which is not there in case of. So they are not identical. And the whole logic is that they get it as a third benefit, which is not available, that benefit is not available to the public sector. Right? Only thing we can discuss that even if it is third benefit, whether it is a beneficial to the State Bank of India pensioner, or the pension regulation available to the public sector bank, they are better. In many situations, though it is a second benefit, it is a substitute of the PF, it has been found better, that is experience. So there can be another debate, but they are not identical. They are many provisions, they are different.
SBI pension regulation will be explained in the next class.
Sri Bhargavan has raised a hand.
Bhargavan
ji.
I got the reply from Srinivasan just now. I have doubt. I want a detailed explanation about the pension in SBI.
Next, in the next class, you will get
Next
it.
class I will get it. So, that's bad.
Ramachandran.
Yes. Sir, what about the balance service of the VRS office regarding the pensioner service? Counting for the pensioner service.
I could not follow, kindly repeat.
What about the balance service of the VRS office
Acha.
for counting the pensioner service?
So, the rules are very settled in the pension regulations that if one has gone for a VRS and he has completed a qualifying service of 20 years, there is a provision of benefit of a notional service for the purpose of calculating the basic pension. That is already settled. So balance service maximum 5 years. Maximum 5 years. The leftover service or the maximum 5-year benefit is given in case of the VRS. VRS also, there are two types of VRS. One is taken by individual, then 20 years service. And many times the government, the bank management, they also declare a special VRS as it happened in the industry in 2000. And that is special VRS scheme came with the Government of India direction. And there we had to fight it up to the Supreme Court. Our Bank of India took a lead, and then this benefit was deprived. They say that this VRS should be treated as a normal superannuation, and therefore benefit may not be given. And now the Supreme Court has given a very clear verdict that no, it cannot be treated. It has to be treated under regulation, I think 19, that the benefit of the notional benefit has to be given. So it is available. The leftover service or 5-year maximum.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, could you kindly explain the point of restoration of commuted portion of amount, pension? Restoration of 15 years for restoring pension, full pension.
In regulation 41, I think 5, there is a very clear-cut formula is given that how the pension will be recovered. So it is there that the basic pension will get reduced to the extent of amount commuted for a period of 180 months or 15 years. So that is the existing provision, and the recovery start from the next month from the date of commutation. Date of commutation is about as and when one has received the commuted amount. From the next month, the basic pension to the extent of commuted amount will get reduced, and this reduction will continue up to 180 months. And after completion of 180 months, that reduced portion will be restored. The basic pension, whatever is deducted, will get restored and it will come. These are the provisions. But in the Government of India, there are a lot of changes, and we want improvement in this regard. But this is the existing position.
Yes, one.
Comrade Jain Sahab, with your permission, can I ask one question?
Pardon?
With your permission, can I ask one question?
Yes, you can.
Actually, this pension is commuted. Actually, the pension is commuted for 12 years, you know, and it will be restored only after 15 years. But there is a gap of 3 years. Why this in the central government and the state governments, it is only for 12 years. They will be restored the full pension after 12 years, but whereas we are getting only after 15 years.
No, I am talking about the existing provision. Whatever is there, it is there. We want an improvement. But the point you are trying to make in government also, earlier it was 15 years. Then they made an improvement in the benefits, and it is reduced to 12 years. So we are also demanding. This is our demand We are lacking in many areas. There is a lot of history behind it. I don't want to discuss it today. But yes, in 12 years, if the recovery is made, it is restricted to 12 years, there will not be any element of interest. If it is recovered in 15 years, the 3 years goes by way of interest obligation. And if it is converted into percentage, it almost comes to a 4%. 4% simple interest is charged on the committed amount. So they are charging interest. Government of India, because of the pay commissions, they decided to make an improvement. So this is we are in the pension itself, we want about 11 or 12 types of improvements. Presently, we are concentrating only on the updation because there is a huge backlog. And after that, why the full pension should be available after 20 years service. In the bank, it is after 33 years service. So huge difference. Then the super senior citizen pension after 80 years, additional pension, etc. There are many improvements which are needed, but because of historical reasons, our present whole attention, where we have been able to pursue the government, we have been able to change the whole strength of the government, and that is that at least the government has agreed to examine our demand of pension updation. We are concentrating. Then there are different bank managements are involved, the performance is involved, the private sector banks are involved. So we have some different environment we are trying, but it is in our knowledge. And if you see the recent circular of AIBA, the UW is on an educational path, and if you see the demand listed by the AIBA in the communication, these points are included. So they are already demanded. But our whole attention is this. We are seized of that. We want that more and more improvement should come for the pensioner, and for that AKBRF has been working, will continue to work. But our first milestone, which we want to achieve, the first target is the updation. A common DA index. Those who retire earlier, their basic pension is and I'm very confident that with the support of all of you, when we have been able to bring the whole issue to this stage, we will succeed in achieving. And as the family pension has become reality in the coming months, this also will become. So we are aware, yes, there is a point in it. We will work on it.
Shri Gopalakrishnan has raised a hand. Gopalakrishnan.
My question is, sir, whether there is a provision for commutation again after 15 years, second option?
No, it is not. It was in the government earlier, long back, but they amended the commutation is available only once in your retired life. You may avail after 15 years also, technically speaking, but it is subject to certain conditions. Suppose I retired today, I don't want commutation because of certain financial reasons. Rate of interest is very low, but suppose the rate of interest goes up and after 5 years I want commutation, I can take, but once in a lifetime. Anytime I can take, anytime. But if I take a commutation after completion of 1 year retirement, then it is subject to the medical examination and subject to the overall discretion. Quantum, then the discretion to the competent authority. Because of the life is gone, he may reduce also. That risk part is there. But if it is taken within 1 year, there is no discretion available to the competent authority. It is calculated as per the factor given and it has to be paid. So there are a few cases in the banking industry, maybe about 200-300 who have not gone for the commutation at all. They say it is a loan. I don't want this loan. I want a full pension. So there are, but very exceptional. It is always advisable to take commutation. So, but in some cases, but it is technically it is an optional thing. It is a loan, and it can be taken at any time during your lifetime. After the death of pensioner, that right is not available to the family pensioner. Family pensioner is not allowed to commute
But once only, one time.
One time.
Okay.
Of course. One time.
Okay, thank you.
And
Thank you for the information.
Is after 15 years.
Hello.
Hello, Shamsuddin, please identify yourself and speak.
Hello. Can I?
Shamsuddin അല്ലേ ചോദ്യം ചോദിക്കുന്നത്?
അതെ ചോദിക്കട്ടോ?
Okay.
Our commutation is restored after 15 years. But after 10 years, the amount will be adjusted. Then we are remitting 5 years amount as excess. What is your opinion?
I could not understand the question. Kindly repeat.
Commutation will be restored after 15 years.
Yeah.
But when we are remitting 120 installments, that is 10 years, the amount will be adjusted. What amount we are getting as computation will be adjusted after 10 years.
20 years.
The 5 years we are remitting excess amount.
That is the interest you are paying. You have taken a loan from the bank to meet your requirement. That is a concept part I am talking. I am not supporting that particular concept. The whole idea is that you have been given a soft loan by the bank at your request. Commutation has to be by way of request only, that you have to apply for it and then it is sanctioned by the competent authority and then it is paid. So the whole part is that interest element is included because the fund position gets reduced. If they invest that amount somewhere, some yield will come. And if it is given by way of loan to the pensioner, then to that extent the funds get depleted. So you are some interest is charged, but interest is not directly specified in the regulation. They say how the recovery will be made. But if you see in a practically, because the DA is not affected, DA is paid on the original amount, basic pension, without taking into consideration the commutation amount, and it keeps on increasing the DA. Therefore, for practical purposes, not as a concept, there is hardly any burden. And as I have told you that now the government of India, in government sector, it is already that it should be recovered. Only the recovery should continue for 12 years. And after completion of 12 years from the date of commutation, it should be restored. So if we also want it, that it should be 12 years, then the interest element will be ignored. Then only the principal will be recovered.
Okay.
Sir.
Yeah.
As you know, sir, the private banks are paying pension by purchasing annuities from insurance companies. Previously, most of the private banks are purchasing from LIC and such strong companies. But as the cost increased, some private banks are now purchasing these annuities from very risky insurance companies. My question is, whether any clause is there in the pension regulation to restrict the banks that the annuities should be purchased from such and such companies?
This is the implementation part, number one. And I don't know the exact provision in the private sector, what are the norms. There must be some norms fixed for purchase of annuity, from which company it should be purchased, who will exercise the power, how it will be purchased. And so that is one part, and the retiree organization operating in that particular bank should work as a watchdog. If we feel that the annuity being purchased from a particular insurance company, it is not financially sound, its performance is doubtful, then those issues will have to be raised because it is an implementation part. But the purchase of annuity is obligatory because in order to ensure that there is a timely payment, and earlier all the private sector bank, as far as my knowledge goes, they used to purchase from LIC only, LIC. But now the new insurance companies have come, life insurance company like HDFC, etc. So if they are purchasing, we'll have to keep a watch on that, and we'll have to take a timely action on that. That can also only be the response. The concerned retiree organization must they must work as a watchdog.
Sir, one doubt. Our last point, please explain our last point. The circumstances when competent authority can reduce, withdraw pension benefits and relevant provisions.
Pardon?
The circumstances
Ah.
when competent authority can reduce, withdraw pension benefits and relevant provisions.
Okay, I got your point. Because in the pension regulation, there are provisions for the recovery also. Recovery. One is a recovery. If some advance is taken by the employer during the service period and there is some outstanding housing loan, car loan, then vehicle loan and the dues of the credit society, staff credit society, if it is taken, then the bank will have a right to adjust out of the commutation amount. Commutation amount they will adjust. And as far as the reduction of the pension is concerned, some discretion is given to the computer authority, but there is a let-down procedure for that. It will not be very easy for the bank management to reduce the pension. The one provision is that if some proceedings have to be started, there is a time prescribed that it should not be the period involved should not be more than 4 years from the date of event. Suppose one is retired as an officer, he took some credit decision, or and that the decision that credit proposal was sanctioned, say 1 year before the retirement. So in the next 3 years, the bank has to take a view that whether there are some lapses, the bank has suffered some financial loss, and in that case, the proceedings, the disciplinary proceedings can be started, and there, by way of penalty, the pension can be reduced. For that, there will be a speaking order, and the pensioner will be given opportunity to put his defense, and then only so there is a procedure let down. After 4 years, unless it is a criminal action, a moral turpitude, or something which is done against the law of the country, then only the action can be taken, or in a very, very serious financial matter it can be taken. So there are very rare cases when this power is exercised and the pension get reduced. Hardly, very few. So it is not very easy for any competent authority to reduce just for any reason, because of some consideration other than a consideration on merit or as provided in the pension regulation.
Okay.
Ramachandran Iyer has raised a hand. Do you have any question to ask? Ramachandran Iyer. I got his name is Ramachandran Iyer. If it is accidental, ignore.
Okay. Okay, sir. If there is no question, it can be.
Sir,
It is.
one more question, sir. Even without...
CP Josh has a maximum question, sir.
Yes, sir, I'm sorry.
No, why should you be sorry? Don't be sorry.
And sir, you have now told that pension can be recovered if there is some financial loss to the bank. My question is that even if there was not even a single paisa loss to the management have started applying disciplinary action by cutting pension to one of our Central Committee member, Mr. Nandakumar. Now, what is our course of action in that regard? Could you explain it, sir?
Sir, we totally oppose such things. Sometimes some excess happens, and particularly in case of private sector management has a different style of functioning. How the Catholic Syrian Bank is functioning, I don't want to start here. if you read the letters which they are writing to the finance minister, because they want to take over one of the public sector banks, that is a planning of the Catholic Syrian Bank on the pension obligation, the uncharted territory like that they are writing. Anyhow, so this is, I don't want to go in that area. But the thing is that sometimes some excesses do happen, and for that the organizations are made. AIBF is in full support. We have been representing, we have been protesting, your programs are going on, and why it is happening, there is a long history in case of Nandakumar. We are aware of it, but that is totally wrong on the part of the bank management. At this stage, I can say this also, whatever organizational measures are needed, we are for it, we will do it, we will fight it out, and we will see that the justice is given to Nandakumar. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
If it is not over, it can be concluded. Huh?
Yeah, it is 12:39. Our plan is to wind up by 1 p.m.
Okay.
So it is okay. If seems nobody has any questions to ask. In that case, shall we proceed to the Thanksgiving part? Okay, just a second. I am getting a call from Srinivasan, sir. Just a second. Okay. Yeah. Many of our we have many of our AKBRF office bearers still here. Shall I invite Shri S.V. Srinivasan to speak? Others also, Shri Bansal is there, from Delhi, Mitra Basu is there. Would you, if any of you would like to speak, kindly. Hello. Any of the AKBRF Central Committee members?
Hello, I am S.V. Srinivasan from Chennai.
Yes, sir. Proceed.
At the outset, I would like to thank the All Kerala Bank Retirees Federation for having taken such a large initiative, I should say, because you got a plan for holding this sort of a camp for considerably longer period. And definitely the knowledge quotient of our functionaries will definitely improve, no doubt about that. After all, when we take classes like this, or camps like this, or workshop like this, we try to test the knowledge out of our own practical experience, how that practical experience has to be applied in the real circumstances, real-time circumstances. All those things will have a bearing on that. That way, All Kerala Bank Retirees Federation, we would like to congratulate as an initiative. And other state committees, wherever it is possible, it should be extended. Whether All India Bank Retirees Federation as a central organization will be able to conduct for all the state committees, it's a moot point, it has to be discussed. Because here, most of the classes, I think, comrades are there, well-informed comrades are there. With their help, you are going to conduct the classes. Wherever it is necessary, you are going to draw the services of outside professionals. That way, it is
a good example. And as regards this pension regulations are concerned, Comrade Jain has Jain and Comrade K. Srinivasan have clarified. Only one thing, please bear in mind, somebody is asking about that recovery of financial loss or recovery of banks dues. Both are different, banks dues and loss. And when the bank suffers reputational risk, definitely pension regulations will be invoked. Pension regulation specifically says receipt of pension is subject to your past good conduct, and continuation of pension every month is subject to assured future good conduct. It is open for the bank management to twist it in any manner they choose. So even while trying to assert our rights available under the pension regulations, the organizations concerned, or for that matter, the pensioner concerned, should take every precaution to see that they do not violate the regulations, they don't give the handle and scope for the private bank management, or for that matter, public sector management. Today we have a curious spectacle. You will be surprised when pension fund, regarding pension fund, so many things are being told. One retired general manager raised a lot of allegations, pollution of serving organizations with that of the bank executives. He has been charge sheeted. He went to Karnataka High Court trying to stay the proceedings of the inquiry. Karnataka High Court initially hesitated to withdraw, but he stuck to his grounds. The writ petition was dismissed. Inquiry is on. That is the state of affairs. So please be careful. Even while trying to assert our own rights and privileges available under the pension regulations, take care to see that we do not give handle to the management. Beyond that, I do not want to tell. And one more important aspect. Even when a pensioner is convicted by an appropriate court of law for an offence involving moral turpitude, it has to be proved in a court of law, moral turpitude. And not only that, even if a pensioner is imprisoned for committing a murder or even such a heinous crime, that person who committed the heinous crime is also entitled for minimum pension. Nobody will be able to deprive that minimum pension to a convict. These two things you remind. It is not that I am advocating for people to commit offense. That's not the point. Point is, pension regulations or pension settlement is so supreme. We rely on pension regulations. It is a Magna Carta for the pensioners. And violation of pension regulations should not be allowed by any person, more so by an organization, and least of all India Bank Retirees Federation. Thank you, comrades.
More central committee office bearers are there. Like Dr. Jog was there, Shri Mitra Vazu, Shri Bansal, any of the AIBRF office bearers remaining, if they or other guests, they can. Sorry, Srinivasan sir, did I interrupt you? You can continue. Sorry.
No. He has completed.
Okay.
Now Bansal is ready.
Okay, sir. Shri Bansal.
Vishwanath Naik is out there. Bansal, after Bansal, Vishwanath Naik.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, at the outset, I am really thankful to AKBRF and especially K. Srinivasan, who has invited us to.
Sound, little more sound.
Who has invited to this AIBRF office bearers to attend this very important class. I will say it's a class. And after a long years, we are sitting in a classroom. And also, I am thankful because we have seen that today a different S.C Jain. I had the opportunity for the last 5-6 years to travel with him to some places many times for the meetings. And always we find that we got the new aspect of a thing. We will put the things in a very new way.
Problem is there. Some connectivity problem is there.
Wonderful thing. Definitely, Comrade Mitra is here. Our Delhi State Committee Secretary. We feel. I don't know how it will be, but I really feel after hearing this and the way this this class, this workshop has been conducted, it's really wonderful. I congratulate Comrade Shri and Vasan, and also thanks for opportunity of knowing Comrade S.C Jain. This is really a good thing. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot again.
Shri Vishwanath Naik.
Yes.
Yeah.
After Vishwanath Mitra Basu. After Vishwanath Mitra Basu.
Now, shall I speak now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Very brief. My congratulations to Srinivasan and the team for this very novel. This definitely be a good model for this. Really inspires us. My question is this can district units and also other state committees and our All India unit can definitely try to emulate our Kerala State Committee in conducting these type of classes. Knowledge is power. Sharing power with members and empowering them with information will be strengthening our organization. I congratulate you. I wish you all the best. I only wish this will spread to other units and state committees. Thank you one and all.
Mitra Basu.
Thank you, comrades. First of all, I would like to thank Comrade Srinivasan and AKBRF other office bearers. Those have arranged such type of workshop. And because of that, we had a lesson, Comrade Jain's lecture on pension updation, resolution. It is really very interested. And I have also got all the things, as Comrade Bansal was saying, that as a Delhi representative, we shall also strive to have such type of workshop with the help of Comrade Srinivasan and other comrades from Kerala, AKBRF, because such type of workshop will be helpful for those also. Those everybody is nowadays asking, the fund is there, why pension updation is not there, fund is there. So we should have all the information. We should have all the information about this pension resolution. So this type of workshop, or you can say a lecture, must be there in AIBRF's directly under AIBRF. So I request Comrade Bansal, who is my president, that he will also see this thing. And I would also like to have same type of workshop for PNB, All India PNB Retirees Federation. So everybody will be there. So it will also be helpful for us. So I'm again thankful to Comrade Srinivasan and other comrades of AKBRF that they have arranged and given opportunity to listen all the leaders regarding this mother of main demand of bank retirees, that is a pension updation and pension resolution. So I'm again thankful. Okay, so
Shamsuddin has raised his hand.
So I'm again thanking, and now I'm stopping my speech. Thank you very much. Thank you, Comrade.
Thank you, sir. I see Mr. Shamsuddin has raised his hand for the third time. Actually, our question and answer session is over, but still, if it is anything urgent, it's actually a session being. Was it accidental, Shamsuddin, raising a hand? Otherwise, AIBRF office bearers?
Jog is there. Jog is there.
Yes, they can speak, definitely.
Please, Jog, please.
Yes, thank you very much. I am thankful to the AKBRF. I congratulate them for starting this new topic, workshop like class, and I'm again very happy to get introduction of our General Secretary Mr. Jain as a lecturer. I'm very happy. He has explained very nice way. My suggestion was that such type of workshop should be having on one topic, that is updation of pension. Most of the retirees, we are taking that is our genuine right and this and that, but in so many circulars of IB or other news, we don't get the clearance. Such type of workshop should be organized on pension workshop, a pension updation. That is my request. So our retirees are more confident of getting the pension updation in the coming days. No doubt, our AKBRF is working very hard and sincerely on the issue. Second issue, which is generated in the amalgamation or the merger of banks, is that the very basic document of pension is PPO, pension paying order. And in amalgamation, what is happening, the records, proper records is not maintained by the bank where it is amalgamated, and that may not cause any problem in the future to the pensioners or the family pensioners. That again one care we have to take on the organization level. That is my request. And for organizing this workshop and calling us there, we are very, very thankful. Thank you.
Comrade Patil is here.
Ashok Patil.
Ashok Patil.
Shri Ashok Patil.
Hello, I'm audible then?
Yes, you are audible. Continue.
There's a saying, the well begun is half done. I'll tell you, this was very desiccated earlier, but okay, it has come. This will open the eyes, the perception upon it. There are a lot of misconceptions because our own people, leaders have not understood. And if this goes on, every nook and corner of the country, the voice will become very strong. The understanding between leaders and the issues will be very clear. Now we are getting so many questions. Things happen every day. I think I have got my conference on 22nd and 23rd at Tirupati. Soon after that, when I come back to Mumbai, I would like to have the same thing in Bombay, because in Bombay there are so many head offices, there are good leaders. And if this is known to all the leaders, I really think that the things will become easy for AKBRF to Mumbai. There was one dialogue in film Mufkar. They say, if you have doubt, your relationship will come apart, and if you have faith, all relations come together. So it's a good, well-beginning code, and everybody should follow it and try to solve almost all the issues which come our way. But we should take the help of UBU, and we should be well knit. We may differ sometimes on some of the issues here and there, but when it comes to such things, if we come together, we understand the thing together, then it will be very good for us to convince management and others also. This, I think, this is a stupendous job which is being taken over by AKBRF. Really, it is a lesson to leaders that they should have done this at the beginning. Okay, it has come today. We will continue with this and try to sort out. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Admin here. It is actually time for us to wind up. 1 p.m. is the time. But I again see some people raising their hands. Could it be because of some mistake? I don't know. Anyhow, we have to keep to the time, keep the schedule, because in that case, Srinivasan sir, do you have anything to say?
Any other office bearers out from outside is there to speak? We cannot see the faces here. That's why I am asking.
Please volunteer. Otherwise, we'll proceed with the vote of thanks by Comrade.
We can proceed with vote of thanks.
Vote of thanks is by Comrade CM Devasi, General Secretary of Federal Bank Employees Union. Comrade Devasi.
Okay, sir.
Okay, carry on.
Shall I start?
Okay.
Please do. Start.
Comrades, dear comrades, all our leaders from AIBRF and AKBRF and all the participants of the workshop. I am going to make a speech because already Comrade Manikutan Nair has proposed a vote of thanks. As an official thing, I am doing this job. As told by our President Balanjatan, it is a unique program we have commenced. It is only a beginning. We propose to have 15 or so programs covering major subjects. The important idea behind this program is to equip ourselves, a good team with a full knowledge about the day-to-day necessities and a library of up-to-date information. I am sure that it will give result. The participants of the workshop are the selected ones from all the organizations of bank retirees. This is a noble venture organized by AKBRF, state unit of AIBRF. We are proud that our unit AKBRF is functioning as a model unit of AIBRF. We are happy that we have been recognized by AIBRF for our disciplined organizational activities. The General Secretary of AKBRF, Comrade Srinivasan, has been elected as the chairman of AIBRF, and we feel it is the recognition given to us by AIBRF. I am coming to my duty. I take this opportunity on behalf of all the participants attended this workshop to express our sincere thanks to Comrade S.C Jain, the General Secretary of AIBRF, who has done a very good job. He has inaugurated this conference. I think he is a leader as well as a teacher. He has given a very good lecture, not a lecture, it is an interaction about the pension scheme. I think if time permits, he will give more information to us. He has a very keenly given lectures giving light on the subject to all the participants. One thing I can tell, that the bank employees pension scheme is an attractive scheme when compared to other pension schemes. It is a very good achievement the bank employees could make. Coming to the item, I take once again, I take this opportunity to express our sincere thanks to Comrade S.C Jain. Also, the leaders of AIBRF, I think more than 11 leaders from AIBRF. It is a very happy occasion that all the leaders of AIBRF has come with us and they have participated fully from the very beginning to this end of this program. And on behalf of AKBRF, we express our sincere thanks to all the leaders of AIBRF on this occasion. Then coming to Comrade K. Srinivasan, he is the brain of this program. He is the General Secretary of AKBRF. He is the Chairman of AIBRF. He is doing all the best for the organization. And I take this opportunity to express our sincere thanks to Comrade K. Srinivasan for his wonderful job. Then coming to Comrade P.S. Balan. P.S. Balan, our President, though he is very aged or he is having some ailments, he is always with us and he is guiding us. And we take this opportunity to express our sincere thanks to Comrade Balanjatan also. The office bearers of AKBRF, they need a special mention because all are very unitedly working for the betterment of this organization. And I take this opportunity on behalf of you all, a very warm thanks to all the office bearers of AKBRF. The participants of this workshop, all are selected, as I told you earlier, all are selected from all the bank retirees organizations as well as this district office bearers. And I take this opportunity to express our sincere thanks to all the participants who have attended this workshop. The most attractive persons are Comrade Kumar Menon, who has wonderfully done this job, this organizing this virtual conferencing. I take this opportunity to express thanks to Comrade Kumar Menon, who has done this job very effectively. And also Comrade Shashidhar Panikkar. Shashidhar Panikkar is the coordinator, the chief of coordinator, and I take opportunity to express our thanks to Shashidhar Panikkar also. I think I have not left out anybody. If anybody is left out, please pardon me. And I express my thanks to all the participants and all the leaders. Once again, thanks a lot. With this, I conclude.
Hands up. Have you got anything more to say?
No, thank you very much.
Okay.
Thanks. A wonderful program, very wonderful, very effective. Time management, content.
Thank you very much. So we are concluding.
Very well. So, well beginning and all done our Patel was telling. So, good beginning.
I made culmination.
And an announce.
So,
oh yes, definitely.
Thank you, everybody. We are, with your permission, I am concluding the meet. Okay, you can start leaving now. You can exit.
We will meet on
Okay,
24.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks to all.
Okay, thank you all.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All may exit, please. It will be better all of us exit, otherwise it will. So I am closing the meet. Thank you.
Okay.
Till